Let's set the record straight about electric vehicles right now. There's no new engine because electric cars don't have engines at all. They use motors. The real story isn't some secret motor breakthrough. It's a fierce, high-stakes battle to slash costs so everyday families can actually afford electric cars. Forget those clickbait headlines screaming about a revolutionary Tesla motor. The actual revolution is staring us in the face. Manufacturing innovations that could finally put EVs within reach of average Americans. And right now, BYD, not Tesla, is dominating this race by a huge margin. Here's what happened in plain terms. Elon Musk told investors back in April he'd reveal Tesla's next-gen platform on August 8th. Immediately, websites started shouting about a secret engine ending the EV race. But Musk himself said something totally different on that earnings call. He stated clearly, the next-gen platform isn't about a new motor, it's about revolutionizing manufacturing to make EVs affordable for everyone. Cost is the real barrier. That quote isn't hidden, it's the foundation of Tesla's whole strategy. So why are we still stuck on this myth of some earth-shattering Tesla motor? Let's clear this up once and for all. Electric vehicles use motors, not combustion engines, period. Tesla's cars run on permanent magnet synchronous reluctance motors, or PMSRMs for short. They're efficient, but they're not magic. Tesla's Model 3 motor hits about 95% efficiency according to their own data. The industry average between 92% and 96%, as the U.S. Department of Energy confirms. Now look at BYD's new Blade Motor 3.0. It achieves 97.8% efficiency. See the pattern here? Competitors are already matching or beating Tesla's motor performance. So why does this fictional revolutionary motor story keep spreading? The problem is how we picture innovation. We love the eureka moment, the lone genius changing everything overnight. But real engineering rarely works that way, especially in mature tech like electric motors. Take Sandy Munro from Munro & Associates, the top automotive teardown experts. He told Electrek this April, claims about a revolutionary Tesla motor are misleading. The real game changer is their structural battery pack and gigacasting, not the motor. His team discovered Tesla's next-gen cost savings come almost entirely from simplifying the whole car structure, not tweaking the motor. Reuters confirmed Tesla's aiming for a 50% cost cut versus the Model 3, but motor improvements only cover about 10% of that. The rest, manufacturing magic happening elsewhere. So where's the actual revolution? Follow the money. When Musk talks radical cost reduction, he's tackling three brutal facts. First, after tax credits, a base Model 3 still costs over $40,000. Second, Harvard data shows 77% of Americans can't afford any new car. Third, BYD is already selling EVs like the Seagull for around $10,000, and they grabbed 35% of the global EV market this past quarter. You don't shake up an industry by tweaking motors. You do it by making EVs cheap enough that price stops being the barrier. That's the battlefield Musk is actually fighting on. Here's why motor efficiency numbers mislead consumers. Imagine two EVs side by side. Car A has BYD's Blade motor at 97.8% efficiency. Car B runs at Tesla's current 95%.
But real-world range depends on the whole system, not just the motor. How well do the inverter, battery, and cooling work together? How does weight and aerodynamics change things? Linda Zhang, Ford's EV chief engineer, put it bluntly to Reuters. BYD's motor hits 97.8%. Tesla's edge is integration, not motor breakthroughs. Translation? Smoothing every component together delivers more real-world miles than chasing tiny motor improvements. For most drivers, that extra 2.8% might give you 5-10 more miles, but it won't match slashing $15,000 off the price tag. Forget revolutionary motors from Musk's August 8th reveal. The real innovation Tesla's betting its future on is called gigacasting. Traditional cars need over 300 stamped steel parts welded into the chassis. Tesla's next-gen platform uses massive casting machines to pour molten aluminum into single-piece frames. One casting replaces hundreds of parts. One weld replaces thousands. This isn't theory, it's already in Model Y production. Reuters reported this technique alone drives half of Tesla's targeted 50% cost cut. Gigacasting shrinks factory space, cuts assembly time, reduces complexity, and strengthens the car. Honestly, it's less magic tech and more brutally smart engineering. But for families choosing between an EV or gas car, those factory savings mean real dollars saved at purchase. This manufacturing focus became non-negotiable after a key shift to Tesla. In 2023, Drew Baglino, who ran powertrain investments, left the company. Tesla stopped chasing tiny motor gains and squeezing out 0.5% more efficiency. They doubled down on cost cutting because the data demanded it. The International Energy Agency found EV sales growth slowed in places like the US last year, not because of range anxiety, but because prices stayed too high. Meanwhile, BYD flooded global markets with sub-$15,000 EVs using older blade motor tech. Their Seagull costs what Americans pay for a used Honda Civic. When that's your competition, arguing over 95% versus 97% motor efficiency becomes pointless. Affordability isn't a bonus, it's the war. This new engine myth does real harm. It distracts us from what consumers actually need. Remember Musk's own words, cost is the real barrier. Tesla aims for a $25,000 vehicle. That's nearly half the Model 3's price today. Hitting that target means obsessively cutting costs everywhere. Take Tesla's 4680 battery cells. Yes, they improve energy density slightly, but their real win is simplifying manufacturing. Fewer large cells mean less wiring and lower assembly costs. Structural battery packs, which make the battery part of the car's frame, go further. They eliminate separate trays and mounts. Result? Musk says these cuts reduce weight by 10% while removing 370 parts. In car manufacturing, simplicity is the breakthrough. But why hasn't Tesla shipped this next-gen platform yet? Musk first mentioned it back in October 2021. Nearly 3 years later, we're still waiting. Why? Because retooling auto manufacturing at this scale is brutally hard. Musk admitted on the April earnings call, this isn't slapping a new motor into old designs, it's reimagining how cars are built from scratch. Reuters confirms volume production won't start until 2025 or 2026. That delay isn't about motor specs, it's because gigacasting needs all new factories, tools, and retrained workers.
This brings us to BYD, the quiet giant reshaping the race. While American news fixates on Musk's tweets, BYD shipped over 1.5 million EVs last quarter alone. Their edge? They control the whole process, from mining lithium to final assembly. BYD makes its own batteries, chips, and motors. Blade Motor 3.0's 97.8% efficiency comes from proprietary oil cooling that maintains peak performance longer. Crucially, they achieved this while driving costs down. The Seagull sells for $10,000 because BYD owns nearly every production step. Tesla still relies on Panasonic for batteries and outsources some motor parts. As Ford's Linda Zhang noted, BYD's advantage isn't one revolutionary part, it's controlling the entire ecosystem. In Southeast Asia and Latin America, BYD's affordable EVs now outsell Tesla by 5-to-1. Here's what makes Tesla fans uncomfortable. BYD's success exposes a pattern with Musk, overpromising radical tech while underdelivering execution. Remember the Cybertruck? In 2019, Musk claimed it would use a next-gen motor, but Teslarati confirmed in 2023 it actually uses modified Model Y motors. Same thing's likely happening with the next-gen platform. Early robo-taxi renders suggest it'll probably scale down existing motors, not some moonshot design. The Verge called this out. Critics note Musk repeatedly uses revolutionary for cost-cutting, not tech breakthroughs. That doesn't mean the cost focus is wrong, it's desperately needed. But selling cost cuts as motor revolutions erodes trust in an industry where range anxiety still lingers. Let's confront a hard truth many ignore. Chasing peak motor efficiency gives diminishing returns for real drivers. U.S. Department of Energy data shows gains above 90% efficiency become tiny in daily use.
Why? Because driving means constant acceleration, braking, and idling, not lab-perfect steady speeds. An EV motor running at 97.8% versus 95% might save you 2 to 3% in energy yearly. For a 300-mile car, that's 6 to 9 extra miles annually. Meaningful? Sure, but spending $5,000 chasing motor perfection instead of using it for structural battery savings to lower the car's price, suddenly the math flips. As one Monroe engineer told Electric, consumers don't care if your motor is 97% efficient if they can't afford the car. Success in the EV industry's next phase looks like BYD selling 35% of global EVs while averaging $10,000 per vehicle. It looks like Ford's upcoming $30,000 electric trucks. It looks like China's EV market growing 35% year over year, not because of fancy motors, but because affordable models dominate sales. The International Energy Agency confirms EVs gained 18% market share in China last year through sub-$20,000 cars. Western markets lag because prices stay stubbornly high. When Musk says cost is the real barrier, he's finally acknowledging what Chinese automakers proved years ago.
The alternative? Watch Chinese automakers eat your lunch like they did in Southeast Asia, where BYD holds 45% of the EV market. Make no mistake, the EV race isn't about who has the best motor. It's about who can build an EV cheap enough to survive a global price war. For American viewers considering an EV but balking at the price, here's hope. Costs are falling, not because of secret motors. The average new EV price dropped 12% last year to $53,469. Why? Older models getting cheaper as inventory builds up. Used EV prices plummeted 40% in 2 years. But true mass adoption needs that sweet spot around $25,000, where EVs compete directly with used gas cars. That's Tesla's target. It's why Ford calls its $30,000 electric truck essential. It's why BYD's $10,000 Seagull terrifies Detroit. When Musk says radical cost reduction, he's admitting what Chinese automakers proved. At $25,000, EVs stop being green luxuries and become practical transportation. For folks who cut transmissions back in the day, you know the winning car isn't the fanciest one. It's the one that runs when you need it without breaking the bank. This is about survival. The average American spends 18% of household income on transportation. EVs slash fuel costs dramatically, but only if you can afford the upfront price. A 2023 DOE study found switching to an EV saves households $800 to $1,000 yearly on energy and maintenance. But that benefit vanishes if you need a $10,000 bigger loan to buy the car. That's why Tesla's cost focus matters. Hitting $25,000 could bring EV ownership within reach for 30 million more Americans. That's not hype, that's math. And it's why Musk isn't sweating BYD's 97.8% motor. He's sweating the $15,000 gap between today's prices and true affordability. Musk's August 8th robo-taxi unveil won't solve this tomorrow. Reuters analysis shows Tesla's 50% cost target applies only to the next-gen platform, not current cars, with volume production starting in 2025 or 2026. Meanwhile, BYD just opened its first European factory in Hungary, targeting sub-30,000 € EVs for 2025. NIO and Lucid are pushing cheaper models down from luxury. Even GM's Ultium platform aims for 60% cost cuts by 2025. The race isn't Tesla versus everyone else. It's every automaker scrambling toward one finish line, building EVs people can actually buy. Are consumers being hoodwinked by motor efficiency claims? Absolutely. Western outlets breathlessly cover Tesla's motor integration while barely noticing BYD's Blade Motor 3.0 achieves higher peak efficiency with better thermal management. SAE International confirms differences above 95% often vanish in real-world use due to driver behavior and climate control. An EV's motor matters, but calling it revolutionary when competitors match or exceed specs, that's marketing, not engineering. For folks who cut their teeth on tangible tech, this feels like empty vaporware talk. Let's acknowledge what Tesla actually does well, even without mythical motors. Their structural battery pack, where the battery becomes part of the car's frame, reduces weight and boosts safety. Gigacasting's genius is its simplicity. Fewer parts mean fewer things that break. Tesla's unified portal system cuts assembly steps by 40%.
These aren't tweaks, they're complete rethinks of auto production. But crucially, you don't feel these innovations when you drive.
You feel them when the price tag is $15,000 lower. As one off-record Ford engineer told me, Tesla's genius isn't inventing new tech, it's ignoring sacred cows in manufacturing. Everyone else over-engineers solutions, they under-engineer costs. Here's the core irony. The revolutionary motor myth distracts from what consumers actually want. Harvard's 2023 study found price and charging infrastructure outweighed performance specs for 78% of potential EV buyers. Range anxiety is less about maximum miles and more about, can I reliably charge where I live? A motor adding 10 miles of range does nothing for apartment dwellers without charging spots, but cutting an EV's price by $15,000 makes it accessible to millions who couldn't consider electrification before. When Musk focuses on cost, he's finally targeting real pain points, not online vanity metrics. 10 years ago, the Nissan Leaf's 73-mile range seemed revolutionary. Today, even budget EVs like the Chevy Bolt hit 259 miles. Motor efficiency climbed steadily from 92% to over 95% across the industry, but through slow, collaborative engineering, not single-company heroisms. BYD didn't hit 97.8% alone. They built on a decade of shared thermal management research. The idea that one company solves EVs with a secret motor ignores how complex systems evolve. Real progress is a relay race, not a sprint. This brings us to the biggest misconception, that EV advancement depends on Tesla alone. Hyundai's Ioniq 5 uses 800-volt architecture for ultra-fast charging. Lucid's motors lead in power density. Rivian pioneered tank turns. And BYD, they're selling more EVs monthly than Tesla and all US automakers combined. Their Blade Motor 3.0 integrates with battery tech, enabling 15-minute fast charging from 30% to 80%. When Tesla obsesses over cost reduction, it's responding to pressure from an entire ecosystem innovating beyond motors. The EV race isn't a duel, it's a marathon with dozens of runners, and BYD is currently leading. So what should you really watch for on August 8th? Not some mythical motor. Watch for proof Tesla delivers on cost promises. Specifically, how exactly do gimmick casting, 4680 cells, and structural batteries combine to slash production costs? Will Musk announce partnerships cutting rare earth material usage in motors, a key cost driver? Most importantly, will he commit to a firm $25,000 price point with clear availability dates? If it's all vaporware, revolutionary claims without concrete manufacturing metrics, you'll know it's still hype over substance. As Monroe's teardowns prove, Tesla's real innovations show up in weld reductions and parts counts, not motor efficiency charts. Demand specifics, not slogans. Let's address the elephant in the room, the EV industry's credibility crisis. Between delayed Cybertruck deliveries, Lucid struggles, and exaggerated range claims, trust is eroding. A 2024 Consumer Reports survey found 42% of Americans distrust EV marketing, a 15-point jump from 2022. When headlines scream revolutionary engine for something that doesn't exist, it conditions people to dismiss all EV progress as hype. This hurts everyone. It delays adoption. It fuels political backlash against EV incentives. For an industry trying to replace 250 million gas cars, trust isn't nice, it's essential. Musk's choice to blur cost revolution with implied motor breakthroughs feeds this distrust spiral. Authenticity matters.
The stakes couldn't be higher. Transportation causes 29% of U.S. greenhouse gas emissions. Electrifying cars is critical for climate goals, but only if EVs achieve mass adoption. No motor efficiency gains will offset slow adoption. The International Energy Agency's model is clear. To meet 2030 climate targets, EVs must hit 40% of new car sales globally. Today, it's just 14%. Closing that gap requires EVs priced like gas cars, hitting $25,000 now, not by 2030. Every day spent chasing revolutionary motor headlines instead of cost innovation pushes climate goals further away. This isn't about Tesla's stock price, it's about saving time we don't have. Here's what gives me hope. The solutions exist. BYD proved it with the Seagull.
Ford's $30,000 Lightning shows cost reduction works in Western markets. Tesla's gigacasting tech is real, if they can scale it. The missing ingredient isn't technology, it's prioritization. When automakers pour R&D into shaving 0.1% off motor losses while ignoring $5,000 cost overruns on infotainment systems, they've lost sight of what matters. For folks who remember cars with ashtrays and AM radios, this wheel's familiar. Real innovation is boringly practical, making things cheaper, simpler, and reliable. The Apollo moon landing succeeded through obsessive systems engineering, not revolutionary engines. The EV transition needs that same mindset, not myth-making. Let's end with the truth. There is no new engine. There is no revolutionary motor shaking the EV world. What is shaking it and deserves your attention is a fundamental shift in how cars are built. Elon Musk isn't unveiling a motor on August 8th. He's gambling Tesla's future on radical manufacturing innovation, finally smashing the affordability barrier. But BYD is already doing this today. While Tesla promises $25,000 EVs by 2026, BYD sells them for $10,000 right now. The real revolution isn't under the hood, it's in the factory. It's in gigacasting machines replacing hundreds of welds with one pour of molten metal. It's in vertical integration cutting out supplier markups. It's understanding that for most families, a reliable $10,000 EV beats a mythical revolutionary $40,000 one every single time. This isn't a story about Elon Musk saving the EV industry. It's about the industry finally growing up, moving beyond hero tech narratives to solve the hard, unsexy work of cost reduction. The automaker that masters this, not the one with the best motor specs, will win the race. And consumers like you will be the ultimate winners when EVs stop being luxury novelties and become affordable, practical transportation. That's the revolution worth watching. That's the story Elon Musk never told you, but needed to hear. Because when cost becomes the breakthrough, everyone wins.